Hello everyone. So this is our second series of video, and in this series we are going to discuss about the scope of social research. Yeah. So in previous videos I've tried to explain you about the what are the kind of syllabi we have, and we have gone through what exactly research is all about. So that was a kind of a introductory to the social research. So before we begin, I'll just a quick recap about what is research. As Imore has said, any organized inquiry designed and carried out to provide information for solving a problem. So research is about to study. As I said, it is a study about any issues. So in research, what we do is like we have a certain problem in our societies. So when we are going to study more deeper into it, and we try to come up with an different more new knowledges and new information, new data, and with that we come up with some policy making or solution. So that is a research is all about. So it's all carried out in a very organized, in a systematic way. So from research designing is a kind of a step. So we follow all those steps and we do it in an organized manner to solve any social problem. That is the research. And on the other hand, L.B. Ratman and A.V.H. Morey has defined it is a systematic effort to gain new knowledge we call research. Whenever we follow any systematic uh, method to to study any issues, so that is a research, that itself is a research. Whenever we do a research, it end up with a new information and new data. So that is about research. And then let's come to the what is social research. Research is a wider perspective, and then when we narrow down it, so we have a social research. So what is social research? As the term itself is a self-explanatory, that it says social means society. When we study about a society, that is called a social research. So in social research, unlike the natural research, what we do is we deal with the human beings. So whether it's a sociology, it's a political science, economics, anthropology, in all this we study about we deal with human beings. We try to study about human beings. So it is a systematic method of exploring, analyzing, and conceptualizing human life in order to extend, correct, or verify knowledge of human behavior and social life. And last point is the main idea behind social research is to discover new interrelation, new knowledge, new facts, and also to verify old ones. So this is what we call a social research. So in simple words, what we can say that social research means study about human being. We try to study about the interrelationship, how people behave in a certain way, in a certain settings, in a society. So we try to understand all these interrelationships and different institutions, different organizations. So these are we do in a very systematic manner. So when we deal with the human society or with a human being, that is called social research. And the same way the definition of social research, here I quote two of the definitions. One is C.A. Moser. What according to him, social research is a systematized investigation to gain new knowledge about social phenomena and problems. So here, social phenomena means social fact, for example, or any social fact means any social institutions. So we say we have a marriage, we have a family, we have a marriage system, we have a political system, we have an economic system. Every society has all these institutions. These are what we call is a social phenomena. So in every social phenomena, there are many social problems also exist hand, hand in hand. So in social research, we try to, to systematically we try to study all the social phenomena and all those social problems, and we try to solve all the social problems by carrying research, any research or systematic investigation. So according to Walls and Walls, what they are saying is sociological research refers to structural behavior of human structural observation of social behavior. So it means we all live in a social structure. So we live in a society. The society is what? Society is a social structure. It has a certain institution, it has certain rules, regulation, and all that are, we call it a social structure. So in that social structure, everyone do certain activities. So that we say social behavior. We behave whenever you go to different society, and different society has a different structure. So in all the structures, they behave in a different way. For example, marriage as an institution, it exists in every society. So what but the way of marriage selection, there are ritual functions, how a wife should behave in a family or to a society, or what are the responsibilities of the male member. So all these are different. So these are the social behaviors. So in sociology, what we do a research on. We first, we try to look into all this structure. We observe, we live there, we study there, and we try to study what their behaviors in different institution or different structure. So these are the social research definition. And then if we look into the different characteristics of social research, so whenever we carry out a social research, so these are the main characteristics it exists. When these are missing, so we cannot say that is a social research. So first thing is, it is a verifiable evidence. Verifiable evidence means that what once you observe a structure, when you study any social problems, so you come up with some evidence. Evidence means some information or some facts. So this fact should be as such that it should be verifiable. Verifiable means something that how many times you do research, it should come up that it end up with the same results. So that is a verifiable evidence, something that you can do more verifiable. Verify, you can verify that. Okay. And then second is accuracy. Accuracy means correct. So it should not be something like that. So when someone study on some institution, some social problems, and then another researcher do, the result might come different. So that it should not be like that. So it should be an accuracy. So accuracy is one of the main characteristics of social research. And then precision. Precision and accuracy are almost similar. Precision means it should be in correct manner. And then systematization. Systematization means, as we said, research is what? It is a systematic investigation. We do investigation means we study something. When we study on any social problems, any issues, we follow certain rules and regulation. We follow certain structures, certain research frames. So accordingly, we carry out our research. It should have a certain steps that we have already discussed in our first lecture. And then objectivity. Objectivity means a researcher should study any social problems as it is. It should not be as it ought to be. For instance, uh, so for a researcher should not bring his own biasness. For example, if I study about on a religion, or a religion institution, some ritual performances, or religious influence on our political system. So if I carry a research, so my research is on religious influence on political structure, yeah, political institutions. So in that case, it should not be something like that. I would say, so I should not bring my own religion into that research. Whether you are studying any religions, for example, Islam or Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, whatever, so your objectivity is should be very clear. It means it should be neutral. You should not bring your own interest or your own identity into your research. So you should study as it is, not something is something, it ought to be, it should be like this, it should be not, no, then that we cannot say that is a social research when your biasness come into it. So we have to be very careful whenever we are carrying research. And then last is recording. Recording means we try to we record everything, and we, at the end you submit your report, at the time at the end you submit your conclusions, your end. So it should be in a systematic way. These are the major characteristics of social research. And then come to the scope of social research. Scope of social research first is knowledge building. Knowledge building. So there are in our society, already there are different knowledges exist there. So by carrying out a social research, first our scope is that it will add some more new information and new data into the existing one. And then study of social problems. We always carry social research only when there is a certain social problems. So study social problem is one of the major scope in social research. And then theory making and policy making. Theory making means something that there is always two things, theory and practical. So in social research we deal with this both. First you curate your own theory by doing research, by adding new knowledges, new information, and then at the end you come up with a practical policy making. So you said these are the issues, these are the problem, and these are the different solution we have to follow to remove these social problems. And then removal of ignorance and superstitions. By carrying out research, it removes n numbers of different ignorance or superstitions. For example, in our casteism is there. So there are regarding casteism, there are ignorance, there are superstitions. By carrying out a social research, we can remove all this ignorance and superstitions. And then scientific study of society. Research is about what? Research is about we try to study society by carrying out or by following a certain scientific methods, and that method is we say social research. So social research means something when you follow a scientific method. It should not be some religious method or some your belief system. So it should follow a scientific method, so something that you can verify, something that you can predict, something that have a very correct and precision. And then the new insight into the organized society and social structure. And this is by carrying out social research, we come up with a new insight, means new perspective. For example, casteism was look in, if we see the practices of casteism 10 years back or 20 years back, people's view was something different. And at the in present time is something different. All these things we can carry out, we can come up with a new knowledges, new information, and by removing all this different ignorance and superstitions, all this we can do by carrying out a social research. So this is one of the important scope of social research. And then attempt to test and challenge existing theories. So for example, as I follow this caste system as an example, caste system exists there. So at the time, people have their own theories, their own belief. According to that, they practice casteism. When you do research, social research, then you study about how this casteism originates. So what are the factors? So why still people practicing this caste system? So by doing this research, then you come to an end that these certain factors, by following those factors, we practice casteism in our society. So we can say these factors are something that is a superstitious, that there is a ignorance, there is no any scientific behind it by practicing. So then we can say we come up with a, we can challenge traditional theories, and accordingly we can solve n numbers of our social problem. So these are the scope of social research. So next we will deal with the nature of social research. So if you have any queries, any doubts, so try to contact me through WhatsApp or by dialing. Thank you.